My father's voice echoed across the living room. My mother stayed quiet, but her eyes carried the same decision. My younger sister, Hina, sat on the couch smiling like she was watching a show. My cousins wasn't family anymore, just a bill that hadn't been paid. You've been living here 3 years. Where's the money? My father said, slamming his hand on the table. I've been trying to find work, I answered softly. Hina laughed. Trying? He just dreams all day. A few chuckles filled the room, and strangely, I didn't feel anger. I felt clarity. When people see you struggling, they don't measure your pain. They measure your worth. Decide today, my father said again. Pay or leave. I looked at him quietly. I remembered getting first place in school, Mom handing out sweets, Dad telling relatives, my son will be an officer one day. Today, that same son was an unpaid debt. I stood up. No shouting, no tears, no arguments. I just smiled. Okay, Dad, I said calmly. I'll leave. The room went silent. They didn't expect it to be that easy. My mother opened her mouth, then closed it. Hina rolled her eyes. Drama king. I went to my room, packed 2 shirts, took my old diary, slipped my grandfather Kareem's old ATM card envelope into my pocket. When I closed the gate behind me, I didn't look back. That night, I understood something important. A home isn't always walls and a roof. Sometimes walking away quietly is how you keep your dignity. They thought they had won. They had no idea what I was about to do next. The first night was the hardest. I slept on a thin mattress in a tiny rented room above a noisy workshop. The fan rattled. The walls were cracked. My savings could barely last 2 weeks. But for the first time, no one was measuring my worth. So I stopped explaining myself. I started building. During the day, I worked anywhere I could, delivery runs, bookkeeping for a small shop, late-night data entry for an online client. At night, I studied finance courses, business videos, free lectures, anything that could move me one step forward. No posts, no announcements, no complaints, just quiet work. Grandfather Kareem's old ATM card envelope stayed in my drawer. I didn't even know if it still worked, but I kept it as a reminder. Someone once believed in me. Months passed. My clothes stayed simple. My phone stayed old. But my mind changed. I learned how money really works, how people panic, how patience wins. Slowly, I saved enough to start a small online bookkeeping service. 1 client became 3. 3 became 10. I didn't celebrate. I reinvested. While I was growing quietly, news from home reached me in pieces. Hina's business idea failed. My father's shop lost a major supplier. Arguments started happening at home louder than before. No one called me, not to ask how I was, not to apologize. Only once an uncle messaged, "Your father is stressed these days." I typed a reply, deleted it, typed again, deleted again. Some truths don't need to be sent. They just need time. A year later, my service became a registered firm. I hired 2 assistants, then 4. Clients from other cities started calling. I still lived in the same small room, because success isn't noise. It's discipline. One evening, I was reviewing accounts when I saw a familiar name in a supplier list. My father's shop. Late payments. Mounting debt. Penalties increasing. For a long moment, I just stared at the screen. I didn't smile. I didn't feel proud. I didn't feel angry. I felt distant. People think revenge is loud, but real life changes quietly. A week later, I got a call from an unknown number. "Hello, is this Ian?" The voice said nervously. "We got your contact from the bank. They said you might be able to help restructure our accounts." I recognized my father's partner. I closed my eyes for a second, took a breath. Send the documents, I said calmly. I'll review them. No accusations. No reminders. No lectures. Just professionalism. Because I wasn't trying to prove them wrong anymore. I was simply becoming someone they couldn't ignore. They were still talking about me. I was already far ahead of them. The meeting was set for Monday morning. I walked into the bank conference room wearing the same simple suit I always wore. No show, no drama, just files in my hand. Inside, my father sat with his partner, tense, tired, quieter than I had ever seen him. My mother was there too. Hina stood near the window, avoiding my eyes. No one expected me. The bank manager looked up, smiled, and said, "Mr. Ian, we're glad you could handle this restructuring case. Your firm has an excellent record." The room froze. My father slowly turned toward me. For the first time in years, he didn't speak. I placed the documents on the table and explained the plan, calm, clear, professional, how their debt could be reduced, how their payments could be reorganized, how the shop could survive. No blame, no reminders, just solutions. When I finished, silence filled the room. My mother's eyes filled with tears. My father tried to say something, but his voice broke. "I didn't know," he whispered. I nodded gently. "It's okay. This is business." Hina looked down. "No jokes this time." The bank manager asked, "Do you want to take them on as long-term clients?" I paused. Not for revenge, not for pride, for clarity. "I'll help with this case," I said calmly, "but I won't be moving back home, and I won't be part of family finances anymore." No anger, no speech, just a boundary. My father nodded slowly. He understood, because respect isn't shouted. It's realized too late. When I stood to leave, my mother held my hand for a moment. No words, just silence. Outside, the sun felt different. I hadn't won. I hadn't lost. I had grown. They thought I was weak because I was quiet. They didn't know I was simply busy becoming strong. 2 weeks after the meeting, I received a message. "Can we see you once?" my mother wrote. No long explanations. No emotional paragraphs. Just that one line. I agreed. We met at a small cafe near the Old Market, the place where my father used to take us for tea when business was good. They looked older, not just in their faces, but in their silence. My father didn't start with excuses. He didn't defend himself. He just said quietly, "I was wrong." No drama, no tears, just truth. For a moment, no one spoke. The noise of cups and spoons around us felt louder than our memories. My mother held my hand. "We were scared about money, about the future. We forgot about you." I didn't rush to forgive. I didn't punish either, because healing isn't loud. It's honest. "I understand," I said softly, "but I can't be the same person you pushed away." They nodded. They knew. We talked about simple things after that. Health, the shop, neighbors. Not the past, not the pain. When we stood to leave, my father stopped me. He didn't hug me. He didn't cry. He just said, "I'm proud of you." It was late, but it was real. That night, I walked home under quiet streetlights. No anger in my chest, no victory in my heart, just peace. I realized something important. Family isn't about who stayed when you were useful. It's about who learns when they were wrong. I didn't move back. I didn't cut them off. I just kept my distance and my dignity, because silence had taught me something loud words never could. Respect is not demanded. It is realized when it's almost too late. And sometimes the strongest